3, 1. Got it.
We're live.
We're live and in charge. Wait, what is that? That's not what it's supposed to be.
It's large.
Large and in charge.
I got that covered.
I
have not lost weight since I saw you last.
I was gonna say you're definitely not talking about what's in your pants.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is this a kid-friendly podcast? I should have probably asked about the rules.
No, it's not kid-friendly.
You know what I'm doing in California right now?
What are you doing right now? Eating tacos. You're doing a podcast eating tacos.
Of course I am. Do you expect any less from me?
No, I would not expect anything less than you shoving your face full of meat.
See, we both can make dick jokes.
Yeah, we can. Jesus.
Look at my tiny mic.
Yeah,
it's really just for you.
It's really weird. I don't think it's meant to hold like that.
It's like a little.
That's really creepy.
I need to have this in my life forever. I'm literally so excited the fact that I found this. It's amazing. Okay, listen. Are you drinking?
Yes, of course. I said I'm not going to be able to make it through this podcast without drinking.
Not with me.
Not with Tara. You can't call her Tara. She'll kill you.
I will kill you. I'm surprised you didn't call me Kennedy.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you want to be called by these days. Is it Tara? Is it Kennedy Kai? Is it Kennedy? What's the name we're doing this week?
Other than love of most men's lives, I am sticking with Tara.
Tara. Okay, we're going with Tara. Hanging out with Tara.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird to hear that from you.
Yeah. So, I had the pleasure, the distinct honor of working with Tara for a brief 6 months. Was it?
Thank God it was only that.
Was it 6 months?
Yeah. No, it was about 9.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was.
Probably felt like 10.
I happen to agree with you on that one. No, I loved you in your little office, your little domain.
My little cave.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had the worst office on the floor because
you had the only office on the floor.
That's not true. Dan had an office. Dan had the best office. And you had one time you had your own office, but it was giant.
Listen, Dan is literally, he looks like Frankenstein. So you have to give him an office. If you don't give Dan an office, he's going to get really angry. He's a cross between the Hulk and Frankenstein. And it's like, me need food and get out of my way and let me sell stuff. Like that's Dan. So of course he gets an office, period.
Yeah. Dan Kozlowski is I don't know how old he is. He's probably late 50s, but he is of the age where too much vacation time, any vacation time is too much vacation time. If we're up to him, no one would have vacation time. If he could give his vacation time back to the company, he would.
I agree with that. I have one question, like a sidebar. Are you in a sex dungeon right now?
Yes.
You are in a sex dungeon right now. Okay. Cause it looks like you're in a sex dungeon right now. It's either because this entire time I've been trying to have a conversation in my head about what that possibly could be, the backdrop of where you're at. And I don't know if it's a fake backdrop or if it's just a sex dungeon. So I've come to the conclusion that you are in a sex dungeon.
Well, this is actually the bar in my house. It's real brick. It reminds me of either the rustic kitchen or what's that? Olive Garden.
Okay. Yes. So Italian Mafia is what you're going for.
Yeah, that's why I grew my hair out, slicked it back. That's what I'm going for. I have a little bit
very on par.
Little mullet going too, kind of.
Wow, that's the longest I've ever seen your hair.
It's the longest I've ever had my hair.
That's insane. Going bad boy. How's the wife like it?
She keeps telling me to get a haircut. And so does my kid.
I agree with her.
So does my kid.
Uh-huh.
But
so what's new in life?
No, but back to Dan though, because Dan that we're talking about is the owner.
Not me trying to change the subject.
No, he was the owner of Top Dog.
Oh my God, that's right.
I think that's important to talk about. We worked with the owner of Top Dog.
Listen, let's have a conversation right now with my tiny mic.
Stop it now.
Let me talk about my tiny mic right now. And also the fact that he was the owner of Top Dog. I went there as a child. Was
never there. I'm convinced that this man has so much money. The only reason he still works is to get out of the house away from his wife.
Or the wife wants him to work to get him to get away from her.
Probably.
I'm going with the latter
too.
one on
that
that.
too. Maybe they both hate each other. I don't know.
Yeah. But they have money, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. Is that all that matters though? Really?
I'm
really?
kidding.
Tara, is that all that matters?
I mean,
Jesus.
no. Listen, I'm happy with or without a man as long as my bag is filled.
Well, it's funny. We worked together for 9 months. So Tara, you have been. I feel like you have an interesting story. You've been a radio DJ. I hopefully you'll tell me, but several different clusters throughout the world, I guess you could say. I don't know what you were in your past life before that, but now you're on a
goddess.
new adventure. So
you can't tell funny. I'm a Leo.
You and I never really like talked when you worked at
I tried to be your friend. I tried to be your friend because you were friends with my brother. But instead all I got was scrutiny and bullying and
that's not true.
Terrorizing.
That's not true. None of that is true.
No, you knew my brother. You knew my brother and you were friends with my brother because my brother is like in that scene that you are in. And I was never in that scene with you. So I was never cool enough to hang out with the cool kids. And when we did finally kind of like go, our worlds melded. It was when we were up for the award together, which I knew I was never going to win because you're Johnny Popko. And
I didn't win that year either.
Yes, you did.
I don't think I won that year. I think Hoover won.
Yes, you did. No, Hoover won the year. You guys had a massive competition that year and you won.
He won versus me the one year. And then I won. So in 2018, he won.
Oh, you're right.
I was back to back. I was back to back champion.
Man.
I had
Check
19
out my tacos.
I won 19 and 20. Back to back champion.
Okay.
So I think you were, and the funny thing is you were nominated and you weren't even on air at the point.
I was not. That's how much of a following I had for a second.
I know.
That actually, like, I had quit my job and people still nominated me and voted. I was like, y'all, I'm not there anymore, right? They're like, no, you deserve this.
Yeah, Tara actually signed on to thousands of computers and nominated herself. That's how it really happened.
I did not. That was never a thing. People actually liked me. Well, I bribed some people, but
here's what's funny. Like I was an amateur on the radio and you were a professional for a while. So
long time.
Yeah. So I think you dating crazy. Back to, you were in Hawaii at one point.
Yeah. I mean, like, well, the funny thing is that I actually started radio in Northeast PA. I got my first gig working with the Bear, which is now the X. And and I started there with Nikki at night, and my radio name was Brookie Bombshell. And I'll never forget it. My very first show. You ready for this? My very first show. I was 17 years old. I got the gig because my friend Kara, who owns Chaco's, her family owns Chaco's. She was in radio as well. She got me in, and they put her on BHT, and they put me on the Bear. And obviously it shows how our personalities were formed because she's very PG and I am very rated R. And so it's just like at a very young age, we were both molded in a certain way. And my very first show at 17 years old, Nikki had somebody from like the sex toy store, and I had to do condom tasting, and they were like, what does the chocolate taste like? I'm like, it's not good, but I'll do it. And then they pull out like all these like crazy sex toys, like, and I'm like, where does that go? I don't know. I haven't even done it yet. Like, what happens? What am I looking forward to in the future? Jesus Christ. So
did you put the condoms on an item?
No, I licked it. I just licked the condom. It was just like that. I was on the radio. People couldn't see it. They didn't have, you have to remember that it was back in 2019 or 1999.
God, how old are you? Jesus Christ.
I'm about to be
ancient.
I am about to be 39.
I know. I'm not too far.
Isn't that crazy? I know. Only I look better, but it's fine. I see you, Botox. I see you, Botox.
Never helps you sleep at night.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I did radio forever, and that's how I started. So it was crazy that I did that. Like towards the end of my career, I kind of came full circle that I was doing radio back in Northeast PA, which was insane to me because it's like I started there and I kind of like I ended there. And now it's like now I'm on a completely new path. But yeah, I did radio in Hawaii. I did the music awards. I helped them put them on in Australia. So I lived in Sydney for a year. I did radio in about Alabama and North Carolina, all over. It was pretty wild.
How did you go from NEPA to Hawaii and all those other places?
I never went for work. I always just went for just like adventure. I'm such a gypsy. I'm a hippie. I'm a nomad, whatever you want to call it. I just don't like responsibility and I like to run from it. So, so therefore I was always just trying to find the next adventure. And, I was in a band, ironically enough, I played bass and, my lead singer, lots of you don't know about me. But like so my very first jazz bass I had a jazz, Fender jazz bass, all American. My parents spent a lot of money on that for me. Only for and like I wrote my name in it, like I carved my name in it. I know that's like detrimental. You shouldn't do that, but I thought I was cool.
Blasphemy.
It was blasphemy now looking back on things, now that I'm older and I realize. But I ended up, my lead singer got stationed in Hawaii and he's like, come visit me. So I said, all right. So I went out to visit him in Hawaii. And I got stuck out there because he had to go into the field, which meant that they were gone for like days and days and days. So I literally went out there for 2 weeks and I was like, well, no one's here. And so I ended up hanging out with one of his friends. His name was Londell Dwayne McMillan from Moore, Oklahoma. And he showed me around the island and kind of got to know me. And then 3 days later, he asked me to marry him. And I said, yes, at 19 years old. And that's kind of what sparked the Hawaii migration.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I know, but it's a fun life, Popko. It's a fun life.
Hey, you know what? Part of me is jealous of that because like I plan everything, I follow the rules. I just
no.
I don't like the unknown.
See, I live in the unknown. I love that. I love that space.
Well, that's cool. Good for you. Because like, I mean, I'm so bad to the point where my wife this past Sunday woke up in the morning and said, hey, we're going to drive an hour to Palmerton to pick up this piece of furniture that she found on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's how far I need to plan that far out because that's just too much for me.
Listen, you need to not be planning these things. Okay, so first of all, it's furniture. Second of all, you got to get out here. See, so my mother actually told me this, that it's always it's like something I've lived by. She says the treasure that you seek is in the cave that you fear. And so whatever scares you the most, go towards that. And that's where like your true adventures really lie. So I've always run towards things that terrify the shit out of me, whether it's moving, new friends, being on my own, or starting all over, or new jobs, new places, doing things constantly, jumping off of a bridge, or, who knows, you know what I mean? But like, I think like your first step is going to the farmer's market with your wife when she just randomly springs it on you. I think that's a good
farmer's market's fine. I don't care about that.
Or going to get furniture. Popko, you need to be more spontaneous. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, but that quote that your mom gave you sounds like it's out of Aladdin.
What?
It sounds like something out of Aladdin.
What genie lamp are you rubbing?
Yeah.
The lotion. It puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh, Christ.
Why? Hey, can we go back to this?
So you went... No, stop that with the fucking microphone.
It looks so good though. Look, it's like
it looks fucking ridiculous. Like I don't
even, nobody padre.
Shouldn't that be like clipped on a lapel or something? Something like that. Yeah. What the hell? Where did you buy that? Where did you buy that?
On Amazon. Okay, Jeff Bezos with the giant rocket dick.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh my God, that's crazy, right?
That's where I'll see you next. Riding.
Hold on 1 second. Are you getting another? Yes. Will you grab me one too? Just let him know. Thank you, Annie. My girlfriend Annie is from Ireland. We met at my co-living place that I live at now. And last time we came to this place, I woke up on this famous Asian YouTuber's couch with wearing my Spanx and a blanket. It was awkward, but I feel there was an adventure there. So
sure, it sounds like it.
So we decided to come back to the scene of the crime and see what happens tonight. Whose couch will I wake up today?
Yeah. Okay. Things you shouldn't do at 40.
Speak for yourself. Listen, my soul is still 23 and no one believes that I am my age. So I don't even believe that I'm my age.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have too much fun.
So you were in Hawaii and getting engaged after 3 days of knowing somebody.
Yeah.
How'd that
we were
work out
together.
for you?
We were together for a while. We ended up falling. It's one of my favorite stories. We ended up falling asleep on the beach after he proposed to me on Sunset Beach after spending the whole entire day together on my birthday. And we fell asleep on the beach and he proposed to me with a soda cup because I wasn't 21, so I didn't have a drink. So he had like like little bottle, like little things, that little white rings that go on like the soda bottles.
Yeah.
So he took that off and he proposed to me with that. And I was like, oh, that's so cute. It's like a movie. And so, he proposed to me with this. I fall asleep in his arms. And granted, Lonnie was a giant man. He was 6'9". So Jesus. I was like, I curled up underneath him and like we fell asleep on the beach, like just laying there together. It was such a movie moment. It was, I live my life as if I'm a movie. I am the main character. And so so we wake up the next day and I am covered in sand flea bites. I look like I have chickenpox, head to toe, Johnny Popko, head to toe in freaking sand flea bites. It looked like somebody had just like unleashed like a plague on me. It was horrible. Face, everything, like you name it, it was all over me. And so there were so many bites, I got sick from them. Like it poisoned me. So I was literally like just newly engaged to this guy. And I'm like projectile vomiting, like just sick as a dog, can't get out of the bathroom. And so he comes by and like we spend that night together. He's trying to nurse me back to health and I'm itching so much. He goes to the store and he buys oven mitts and duct tapes my hands because I couldn't stop itching because it's just so itchy and I'm scratching everywhere and like it's so bad. So I'm literally running around this hotel room in Hawaii with this new fiance that I've known for 3 days, itching my entire body with oven mitts on and duct tape so I couldn't get them off. I'm going to take it off my teeth and it's just a sight for sore eyes. It's very funny.
That sounds like an episode of Friends.
Does it really?
Well, it actually happened. Phoebe was dating a character played by Charlie Sheen. They had the chicken pox and they literally duct taped like oven mitts to their
Stop
hands.
it.
Swear to God.
I've never seen Friends.
What?
I've seen like random episodes. I saw the one where they do this.
Okay. Yeah.
Like that, that's the only one I know.
Well, okay. All right. Well, you're not American.
And I know.
Go ahead.
And I know smelly cat. Ready? Smelly cat.
Maybe this microphone was a bad idea.
I love it. Rockstar.
Have another drink. Have another drink. Like, yeah, thanks. Can't wait.
Look, ready?
See?
Thanks, Annie from Ireland. Hi. Annie from Ireland just bought me yet another beverage.
There we go.
Here we go.
Annie from Ireland.
So Annie from Ireland.
Making dreams come true. All right.
But yeah, so we were there and then I was like, I couldn't stand it. And then he left to go to work and he came back and he brought me a teddy bear. And I was like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Like, that's so sweet of you. And I was like, thanks. And I looked at the teddy bear and he's like staring at me. And I'm just like, thank you for the teddy bear. And I looked down on it and around the neck of the teddy bear was like a little bow, and attached to the bow was an engagement ring. And he had gone and actually got me an engagement ring. And that's when he put it on my finger. We were engaged for 3 months after that, but we started fighting because his family turned out to be really big in Oklahoma real estate. And they were really rich. And so the parents thought that I was after him for his money, which I had no idea he even had, because he had never told me that until later on. And then so they kind of got between us, and then he got deployed and he had an early bachelor party. It's a true story. I have friends that like in Northeast PA that literally had to like pick up my pieces after this. But after all the arguing and everything that happened, he ended up doing an early bachelor party and ended up having discretionary actions with the stripper at the bachelor party, and she got pregnant. And so he ended up marrying her instead.
Are they still married today?
They had 3 kids together. He called me. I wrote him a really long letter, and she got the letter and she read it to him while he was deployed. And she's like, I don't know what you did to this girl, but you need to fix it. And and so he called me and he's like, it was the biggest mistake I've ever made. I miss you, blah. And I'm like, dude, you have a child and a wife. And I was like, it's not going to happen. So they ended up being together for a very long time. We reconnected after we both got divorced many years later. And then
hold on. So you were also married.
Engaged 4 times, married once.
Holy shit. All right, let's get
the
through
Popko podcast part 2.
Let's get through the first failed engagement.
So that's what happened. And he tried to get back with me and all this other stuff. We tried to make things work, but I got really afraid that he was gonna like hurt me again after I got divorced. So and then from what I know is, I don't know if you remember, there was like all these like really bad like hurricanes and tornadoes in Oklahoma at one point that literally just like destroyed all of Oklahoma. And so I called him and I asked him, like, I was just like, hey, like, how are you? How are your family? I'm really worried, and other than he's like, we're fine. We survived. Our houses didn't, but we're okay. And I was like, okay, cool. Just making sure that everyone's okay. And that was the last I ever heard of him. It was a long time ago. Yeah. But that was Londell Dwayne McMillan.
So you never have to tell the wife that, like, hey, I was the girl he was engaged to while he banged you and got you pregnant.
Maybe he did. Hey, but the funny thing is that I never slept with him. We were waiting till we got married. So I was only 19.
Sure, of course.
And that at that time I was still young, naive, and not a slut.
At that time.
At that time.
How things have changed.
How things have changed.
All right, so failed engagement.
Things
Stop
have
with that
changed.
fucking microphone. God damn it.
Oh God, I love an old fashioned.
They're good. They're very good. Is there an orange?
So
is there an orange peel in there?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's amazing.
Annie from Ireland, doing great things.
Annie from Ireland, say hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
He said,
welcome,
good.
Welcome to the Popko Project podcast.
He said, welcome to the Popko Project podcast.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that a fantastic accent?
It is. Well, tell her I love Boston. I love.
It's where she's born.
Whew, there we go.
She's got dual citizenship.
Give her the phone and the
Hold up.
thing.
Go fuck yourself, Shawnee Popko.
Easy.
I'm just kidding. You can cut that part out. I dropped it. I'm drinking old fashions.
I don't edit these
at all.
Nope.
Oh shit! He doesn't edit these at all.
This is all genuine, raw conversations.
So raw.
All right. So that plant. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what happened after the failed engagement.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say this. Is this therapy? Am I in therapy? What?
I see. So see, I know the Tar that I know, and I think so. Yeah. Also, I feel like, well, and I don't know where you are in life now with the friends you hang out with, but I feel like in NEPA you had this kind of like, why do I say it? Tara was like misunderstood. She had this like thing about her that people didn't understand or didn't really quite get, or I don't know what it is, but like I feel like you in general were misunderstood. People
How so?
I remember distinctly, like when you worked at the radio station with me at Time Shamrock, there was a moment, I think we were doing some kind of like, we'd invite people and advertisers to this like seminar or whatever. And we were kind of like ragging on you, just like busting your balls. Cause like, we thought like you were like one of the guys, like you could, we could bust your balls.
I'm one of the guys.
I know. Well, you took like major offense to it. And I remember
I got really offensive a lot in radio.
Well, so I remember this very vividly. Like you always just felt like people were attacking you and people were out to get you. And I remember I came back. I'm like, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you think that everyone's out to get you? And I walked away. I remember you texted me shortly after and you said, hey, sorry, I don't mean to get that way. Like, I'm just not used to people being nice to me.
Yep.
And I said to you, well, maybe you need to hang out with better people.
And so I moved to California and I found that.
There you go. Okay. We'll get to that. But what I'm getting at is like all these scenarios in your life, and I think a lot of people, we're raised in a way like, you go to school and go to college and everything's kind of mapped out for you. And
Yeah.
I think it's that way for a lot of people. But when they see someone like you who's like off their fucking rocker and I'm kidding. But like they
You're
just
not
like,
wrong. You're not wrong.
but you know what I mean? Like they see that and like, oh, well, that's weird. That's not okay. Like she shouldn't be doing this and she shouldn't be doing that. And I'm not, like, hey, everyone's different. Everyone has, entitled to their own opinions and how they want to do things and all that kind of stuff. So like, that's why I'm really just interested in your story, because like, I don't think a lot of people like took the time to get to know you. I think you're a good person. I think you mean well.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're just, just a little wild.
Here's the thing. Everyone I've ever met that I've been close with has always told me I don't belong there. Like, and when I say that, I mean, that's everywhere I've ever been. North Carolina, Fayetteville, Huntsville, Alabama, like even in Hawaii, like people were like, you're such a good soul here and everything, but you need something bigger. You need a bigger market. You need to be doing bigger things. You need more. Like the area is it's too small for you. Like, especially in Northeast PA, people always said to me, you don't belong here. And I was just like, yeah, but I find my happiness in, wherever I'm at. It doesn't really matter where I'm at. They're like, no, you don't understand. Like, you belong somewhere else. I never really took them. I always took it at like face value. It's like, whatever, it is what it is. And then I moved to California and I realized what they were saying. And I think that there were so many people here that were like me, that they didn't belong where they were. And they found their way here. And now we all just kind of like perfectly vibe together in this amazing, like, just flow of life. And it's like, I sound like such a hippie, but honest to God, I think I am. I think I'm a hippie. I think that's just the person I am. And I think that I've always just been like an overly lover, and I've always been goofy, and I just want to have fun, and I want to go on adventures, and I want to do crazy shit. I want to be almost 40 years old at a bar, waking up on an Asian YouTuber's house, which, by the way, he just texted me. Thank you. I mean, like, it's just like, I want to have those memories and things. I want to do things like that. But in Northeast PA, that stuff's not accepted because it's not the norm. The norm is to get married, have a kid, raise a family, live a happy life, and then, die and be buried in the same plot next to your loved one. And that's fine, but that is not for me.
Sure. And I think, like you're saying, like there was more of that wasn't you. Like there was just more of that was against you.
Yeah, 100%.
At least here. But real quick, can once I post this to YouTube, can that Asian YouTube star fucking share that shit?
Oh, you want me to have him share it? Be like, hey, Alvin. Alvin did text me. He's in Toronto. He's in Toronto right now. He's like, I'm in Toronto for the next month. Could I have at least had the keys to your apartment? That is absolutely beautiful.
Alvin, can you please?
You should have seen his chipmunks.
I just want to fucking few new followers, new likes, new subscribers, bro. Like, if you got a million, I just want like 1,000.
He does art. He does art podcasting, and he's actually a really big artist. He's a really well-known artist. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the failures before we get to like the good stuff. And it's not really a failure, because I don't believe in failures. Like,
I don't either.
You never fail, you learn, or whatever the fuck that saying is.
Yeah. Oh, you never fail, you learn. It's always if you never fall. Well, I mean, failure is a step into success.
Sure.
You need to fail in order to succeed.
Yeah.
Because without failure, there is no success.
What are you quoting now? You were doing Aladdin before. Now you're doing.
I'm quoting an old fashioned.
Oh, okay, good. All right. So first engagement broke off. Done. Done.
Yep.
Where are you off to next?
God, I went to New Hampshire, and then I was a bartender for a Coyote Ugly bar, and I was up there for a few months with my stepdad, and then left there and went back to PA and got a job working in Hawaii. So I like pieced out on my own and moved to Hawaii, where I met my ex-husband, and he became my roommate. He was my roommate. I lived with him, and when I first moved to Hawaii, I lived with 5 Navy guys, and then I transferred from that to 4 Army guys. And
this sounds like a bad porno.
I know, but they were beautiful, so it was totally okay with me.
Sure.
I just love being around gorgeous men. I always have, always will. I'm
Sure.
boy crazy.
There you go.
And so, yeah, we ended up living together. And I guess I didn't know this at the time. I found this out after we started dating, but they had a vet who could sleep with me first. And
Good.
yeah, had no idea. They were all so nice to me. And I was like, God, I love living here. Like, Jesus,
Why are
like,
you all so nice to me?
they're all so nice to me. They do so much for me. I don't understand. Well, apparently they all had a fucking bet about who was going to get between the legs first. So,
Sure.
well, Perry won because he ended up marrying me. So that happened. And then he got selected for special forces years down the road, and we moved to North Carolina. And then I lived in North Carolina with him, where and then I was just really bored there. I didn't have any friends. I missed Hawaii. I was like lazy because I used to surf and walk everywhere and do hikes and go with my friends. I had this whole life for so long in Hawaii, and I just had nothing in Fayetteville except for his family, which was awful. And in-laws are not fun, especially Southern in-laws. And so I ended up, my best friend is Australian. And she's like, we need help putting on the music awards for the Acras. She's like, would you be interested? You want to come out here for 3 months? And I said, sure. So he went to training. He was supposed to be gone for like 6 months of training. And then he was going to get deployed right away. So I wasn't going to see him. So I was like, all right, you do you. And I was like, I'm going to go to Australia. So I went to Australia, and then 3 months turned into 6 months, 6 months turned into 9 months, 9 months turned into a year. And I ended up just kept renewing my visa and just kept renewing everything. And they're like, just stay another year. And I was like, I'm kind of married. I have to go back. So I went back, and we had a lot of marriage problems. He cheated a lot. So, he was special forces. He had, that's just how he was. And eventually we split up, and I got into radio out in North Carolina right after I got back from Australia, and did that for a couple of years and worked in country radio and hip hop radio.
How did you get into radio? Like, I mean, did you have a background in radio? Like
no, it was just, I had my background in working for the Bear and all the stuff I did for the Bear. Like I was
right.
Okay.
Do
you remember what Scott watching was?
No.
Scott watching was when you would stay overnight in the studios. You would make sure that nothing would go off air, and you would write down all the levels of everything every hour, and you would just stay awake for 8 hours overnight to make sure that nothing went off air. And if they did, you had to jump on air and do everything live.
I see. I got into radio. I got into radio when it was all digital.
I had cassette tapes, baby.
Yeah.
I had cassette tapes.
Yeah,
so,
I got into radio when it wasn't any fun. Like you were in radio when it was like a good time.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like I remember I opened up, I introduced Godsmack. Like I remember being on the stage and introducing Godsmack at the concert at the Montage Mountain.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's like, look at this little guy. He's so tiny. You know what I mean?
Poor Sully.
Poor Sully. So, but yeah. But then, so I did that for a while. I was doing that for like a year. And then I did the stuff in Australia, and somehow I managed to talk my way into getting a promotional job with BBGI out of North Carolina, and then just kind of worked my way up from there. And that was my majority of my experience, and kind of bullshitted my way through my career ever since,
Fake it till you make it, right?
Fake it till you make it. It's like literally my motto.
I remember you coming back to Northeastern Pennsylvania and being on 97.1 BHT or 97 BHT or whatever it might be. How long were you there for?
A year. Little over.
And this is
I got there.
Go ahead.
After what?
Go ahead.
I was like, I got there. I moved back from Hawaii. I was on a morning show in Hawaii, and I got there, and I was supposed to only come back because my mom needed some help. So I moved back from Hawaii to Pennsylvania to help out my mom. And then I was just like, oh, I'm going to be here for a few months. I'm going back to Hawaii. See you later. But I needed to stay a little longer than I thought I was going to have to. And then I got stuck there, and I was like, well, I guess I got to get a real job. So I started working at the casino, and I was like, oh, I'm only going to be here for a few months, so it's fine. Then I ended up being there for over a year, and I was like, well, God. And then I was about to move to San Diego. A friend of mine from Hawaii was like, come move with me into San Diego. He's like, you can stay with me for free until you get on your feet. He was one of my best friends in Hawaii. He's like, come. He's like, just live the lifestyle. I had a ticket booked to Australia for 3 months. I was like, I'm just going to go live my life. I'm going to go do the thing. And then I got a job offer at I got scouted from Randy, who was the market or like the operations manager for Cumulus. And he was like, I want you. He's like, I want you. He's like, I want to build an entire radio station around you. He's like, your personality, your craziness, like you have free reign. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, you have free reign and a decent salary. And I was like, I'm sorry. And he goes, and we'll pay you for roads and broadcasts and merchandising, and you have free reign. And I'm going to train you to be the next program director for BHT. And I said, I'm in. You can't pass this up. It's like my dream.
How much of that was bullshit?
90% of it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of, and I'm not here to talk shit on radio. I was in radio. I had a great time in radio, but I feel like a lot of, and it might not even just be radio. It might be just life in general and businesses in general, where people will tell you they'll feed you a bill of goods and just to get you where they want you, and then it's all fucking a lie.
So I mean, like, I think that Randy had every intention. I did whatever I wanted to. I had a pretty crazy, no hold bar or bars, holds bar, whatever that saying is.
I got you.
Whatever that saying is.
No
tiny
bar.
Microphone. No holds bar.
That's it.
So after that, then I just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of like full on. I don't know. Like I had a great time, but then after Randy left, after he resigned and went back to Florida, the shit hit the fan. And then like I was supposed to get the job of program director of the station because I was already doing it. I'd been there so long, but they hired from without, like outside the company. And then once they hired someone new, it was game over.
Now,
it was no longer fun.
Do you think the person that was hired kind of put a target on your back as far as
100%?
They didn't like that wild, crazy. Yeah. Okay.
That person came from a radio, I think iHeartRadio, which is very much like, unless you're on a morning show, you shut up. You don't really talk. You introduce songs, you play your role and you move on. And that's that. Whereas what I was trying to do would be more like local, where I could like have a conversation. I know a lot of people that would listen to me and they'd be like, you talk a lot, but you know what? I feel like I'm my best friends in the car with me having a conversation. And I got that a lot. That was a common thing that people said to me. They were like, man, whenever I have you on, it's like, yeah, it's, sometimes you're all over the place, but man, do you make me laugh. And like, it's like having my best friend right there with me.
And I think that's the direction that radio needs to go. But the radio execs and the higher ups, the guys and girls that have been doing it, well, we've been doing it this way for 50 years. Like, this is how we do it. That scares them.
If that's the case, then why are podcasts so successful?
Like, well, exactly.
If people don't want to hear people talk and don't want to hear their stories, then why the hell are their podcasts so extremely successful? You know what I mean? Do you want a taco? Have one. But yeah, it's like, why are they so successful? Why are there massive podcasts that are like 3-hour long episodes that people listen to straight through like a movie? Because people want to connect.
Yeah, and I think I listened to you when you were on BHT, and I did it for no other reason other than like the station was a competitor. I wanted to kind of see what they were doing, but I wasn't your audience. So for me, it was like I'm hearing this lady, and I called you lady because you're older than I was. I'm like, so I knew how old you were, right? When you were talking, and you would talk, but you would talk like to your audience, which was great. You would talk about, you'd be a young 21-year-old, like out partying with her girlfriends till 4 a.m, still drunk the next day, hungover as shit.
Yep.
But I mean, radio, radio is not going to get better unless they allow the DJs to be themselves and to connect with their listeners.
And I'm telling you this right now, radio isn't going to get better, period. I've taken a big step back from radio, doing a new career, and I've been listening even here in LA, and I listen no matter where I go, whether it's a small town or a big town, whether I'm in Malibu or if I'm, driving down the PCH or I'm going to little old Burbank, you know what I mean? Like, no matter where I'm going, like all the markets are different. It's not like I'm just listening to, Kiss FM or I'm 97.1, like it's like, it doesn't matter whether I'm driving directly through the city or if I'm, if I'm driving straight through the city or if I'm driving like in like the middle of nowhere, all radio seems to be very similar right now. And that is, and the problem is that they have like, it's very one-liners. It's like how it used to be. It was like 97.1, 95.7 BH2. What's going on? Okay, so we got a contest coming up because we want you guys to come and see, Kesha this weekend, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. Enter here to win. Now back to the music. And that's it. There is no story. There is no anything. It's just a means of someone to give out information. All of them could be voice tracked or whatever. There's no need for these people to be live because there's no live content. It's all one-liners. They're liner jocks. And that's how most morning shows are still killing it. Morning shows, they're the personality. That's why they make so much money, because they let them be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, you even look at shows like in Northeast PA, like Jeff and Amanda. They're so popular because it's a morning show in the afternoon. People get double the dose of the entertainment. Like, why people never caught on to that, it blows my mind.
Well, Jeff and Amanda are in the afternoon.
That's what I'm saying. Drive time. Like, there's two drives.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. Gotcha.
That's what I'm saying. You're getting two. It's like
morning.
a twofer.
Okay.
I meant afternoon. Like, so it's like you get a morning show, and then you get a morning show in the afternoon as well.
But yeah, okay. But I mean, also on this station too, you have Rocky and Lissa, Rocky's been a staple for fucking 30 years, whatever it's been.
Mm-hmm.
Lissa does a great job too, as far as connecting with her, the local audience. Yeah, Jeff and Amanda. And I think, even, you were at Time Shamrock, Prospector morning on Rock 107.
Yeah.
He was live. And then you had Hoover in the afternoon, who was also live. And
yeah, but that's rare.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like for Time Shamrock to kind of, we're talking about, Rock 107 being a number 2, number 3 station in the market. KRZ always, killing it. I guess like there's those formats, at least for those shows, they work. But again, they're local and they're live.
I'm telling you right now, if I was stuck in traffic, do you know how many friends that I know that listen to morning shows in the afternoon when they're stuck in 5 o'clock traffic, because they hold off on their podcast and they don't listen to it in the morning. They listen to it on the drive home, because in the morning they don't have as bad a traffic. So they listen to like some other random show, and then their favorite morning show, they'll pull up their podcast and listen to it on the drive home. People want that.
Yeah.
They want especially in big markets. Like, you're stuck in traffic for an hour and a half. Give me some entertainment.
Mm-hmm. My wife loves radio, and she loves like the talk show. She was a big fan of Kid Craddock in the morning.
Yep.
Now it's the Burt show. She listens to that.
Yeah.
She listens to Jeff.
Does she like it?
I mean, it's not Kid Craddock, or Kid Craddock.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think the Burt show's great. I don't like Burt, but I like the rest of them.
Yeah. She likes to be entertained. She wants to hear about like current topics and all that kind of shit. But
she wants to connect.
Yes. That's
she wants to connect to somebody. That's what it is. It's all about connection. But radio doesn't understand the same. That I think that, and I hate to say this because it's crazy, but I think radio's dying. I think, like, I never thought that, and I was always like, no, it's not, blah blah blah. Because when I was in Australia, when we did the Australian Commercial Radio Awards, we did the radio conference right prior to it, and it was all these people that came out, and one of the topics that their keynote speaker talked about is radio dying? He's like, no, radio is not dying. And back in 2009, it wasn't. But here we are, 2021, after pandemic, like post-pandemic and everything else and everything that they're taking away, 100%. It is dying because you're taking away the connection, and you're taking away the one-on-one, and you're taking away the romance to it all. There's no more callers. You can't call. There's no more like caller number 7 gets tickets to go see, like, I don't know, Beastie Boys. It doesn't happen anymore. Like, you don't get this stuff. I don't know why I said the Beastie Boys, but like, it was just like, but it's just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like that. Like, to me, radio is connection. Radio is content. Radio is live. And I'm sorry, but none of that happens anymore. We don't have it anymore. So in my mind, the only spot, it's like, I feel like radio is literally on life support. It might not be completely dead, but it's definitely dying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
which is sad.
It is sad. Yeah, definitely. But so you were at BHT, and new guy came in, didn't want anything to do with you.
Nope.
Did you leave on your own accord, or was he like kind of like, hey, you should probably get out of here?
Oh no, I left on my own accord. I left. I was engaged for the 3rd time at that point. So
good segue. All right.
So because of that, I had my fiance at the time was like, you don't need money. You don't, you know, you don't need to do this. You can find another job. You can take a little break in between while you find another gig. So why don't you let it go?
You keep finding guys with money though.
I do. And I also find guys that want to marry me. They just don't last very long.
Jesus Christ. All right.
They meet me and they fall in love and then they're just like, ah! Actually, no, I'm like the runaway bride.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're engaged. He says, hey, you don't need to work anymore. You're like, okay, great. This is great. I can find myself again. I can find something to do. Like, and what happened?
I sat on the couch for 6 months. I was like, I'm gonna.
How was that?
Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. So please don't mind me.
COVID.
It wasn't. I got tested. It's negative. I took like 3 tests. I work in aviation. I can't fly with COVID.
We'll get to that.
Oh.
Let's not spoil it.
Hold on. I have to ask the love of my life over here. Can you grab me one more old fashioned? And also, do you think we should put money in the parking meter? Okay. I don't have. Here's my wallet. It's in the front thing. Yes, I love you. Huh? And not coins. It's the debit card. Yeah, there's in the front. Use any card that's in there. My money's your money, mama.
There's no like app you can like.
No, I'm sorry. We're not Scranton.
Oh, in California.
We're LA.
Wow. You think you'd be
so above?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Absolutely.
We're not.
Jesus.
We're not at all. So, but yeah. So, what were we saying?
You sat on the couch for 6 months.
I sat on the couch for 6 months, man. I literally was gonna do the damn thing. I was gonna go to the gym. I was gonna lose weight. I was gonna be my best self. I was gonna come back. I was gonna start my own podcast. I was gonna write a book. My ex-fiance brought me a brand new MacBook computer or Mac desktop computer. He's like, go and write your book. And I was like, okay. Literally used the thing twice. I think I put the title of my book and like chapter 1, and that was like literally all I wrote. And then I drank a lot and partied with my friends and realized I like this life better than being serious. And so, yeah. And so for 6 months and then we broke up. I realized it. I knew like we shouldn't have been together in the first place, but he was a nice guy. He was a really nice guy, but it was what it was. And then I left and I just decided that I needed to, start over. And then I needed a job after we broke up. We decided we were not going to be together anymore. And that meant no more bills being paid. So, so I had to get a job. And so therefore, hence our meeting. I got a job at Time Shamrock and I was supposed to be there as a dual role. I was supposed to be on air and sales, and it was never ever on air. I was just always sales.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that. Like, again, I'm not asking you to talk shit. I'm still very friendly with the staff there. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, so you were kind of hired. I think you were, and I remember like, I loved, so the station was called, when I first started there, Fuzz 92.1.
Me too. I love it. Fuzz fast, fuzz everything.
Yeah,
so
the
marketable.
Name. Yeah, exactly.
So marketable. So able to like just take on the world.
Just cool. Like they had this like cool vibe about it. But people smarter than us, I'm using my finger quotes, smarter than us, decided that they wanted to change the name to
rebrand.
Rebrand, but like keep the same music. Like, so it was like, just like, we're just going to change the name of the station and we're going to play the same songs, but we need to kind of get people excited about it again. I don't know why, because we came off of Fuzz Fest that we had Weezer at, like, it was a massive show. Like it makes no sense to me, but again, I don't get paid the big money to make stupid decisions.
Yep.
So I get paid small money to make stupid decisions. But yeah, so they wanted to rebrand the station, which, I mean, it all worked out for me because I got to have a local radio show on that station, but they rebranded to Alt 92.1. Like, so I hated the name. When they like, I always like picture things like when you rebrand a station, especially a radio station, that you wanted it to be an alternative station, like, and I don't want to get off topic here, but like there's a lot of craft breweries around our area. A new one's opening up. I won't even say the name of it because their logo, their branding, their sign on the building is fucking awful. Like, you have the opportunity to like create something so cool and amazing. And when you come out of the gate with alt 92.1, and you're in a political atmosphere when it kind of launched, you have the alt right and things like that.
Yep.
It's just like, I'm like, what are we doing? The logo was fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't know who designed that. The purple.
They took 3 months to do. They took 3 months and settled on that, from what I understand. I don't know that for sure.
See, at least when BHT rebranded, they did it in a better way.
I wasn't in the meeting, so I can't be sure, but that's what I've heard. It is what it is. RIP Fuzz, RIP Alt 92.1.
I was like, Alt 92.1's gone now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's now Q92. The 90s in now. The 90s in now.
So weird. And Ferg's gone too, isn't he?
Ferg's gone. He said, fuck this.
Yeah, well, of course he should say fuck this. It was a terrible thing. Is Terry still there running the place into the ground?
I'm not talking anything. I'm not saying anything. So no, but you were hired. You were hired.
Thank you. Love you. Hold on, what's that? That's all right. Oh, we don't need it? Oh, okay, perfect. So it's free. It's free.
You got a free drink?
No, I have free parking.
They're
The
probably
lovely
like,
Annie.
there's a podcast
Let
over
me
here.
know.
Podcast over here. We got free drinks. Send them free drinks.
Perfect. I love that you took a picture of it just in case. Did you get a splinter up your ass? Oh no! We're sitting on benches, and I sat down and I slid over, and it went like just that splinter went.
Is Annie like your personal assistant? What's going on here?
Is Annie my personal assistant? I wish she was. I wish that she wasn't
like,
leaving me on Sunday.
Get me drinks and go pay my parking.
No, she lives with me.
She's just a good
what
friend.
am I supposed to, she's a great friend, and I'm very sad she's leaving in a few days. So I'm trying to get all the time I can with her. But I did tell her I had to do a podcast day, and then we were going to drink heavily afterwards.
All right. Well, it's still early for you. It's 9:30 here, which means it's 6:30 for you. You have plenty of time.
Yep. Yes, we do.
And I won't keep it too much longer. But
okay.
Hired at Time Shamrock, you're going to be on air and in sales.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
I'm thinking that you never really wanted to do sales, but you were lured in by like, all right, well,
I needed a job. And I didn't want to just not do radio, because I had been doing it for so long, and it was a passion, and it was something I really wanted to continue. Because once you have radio, it's in your blood, and it's like until you get to the point like it takes a lot to kind of like get over that, and which I mean eventually I did, but it takes a certain point. Like there's just something about radio that just like a romance. Like you love radio when it's a certain point. Obviously during COVID, it's very different than it is beforehand. But I had this memory of it. It was like a bad boyfriend. It was like a boyfriend that I remember all the good times with. And like he just changed after 3 months, kind of like my ex Jeff. And it's just like
you had a bad boyfriend when you were working there too.
I did have a bad boyfriend when I worked there.
I'm surprised you weren't engaged. Did he ask you?
No. I mean, we talked about marriage, but he was too crazy. So was I. He made me a crazy person. Yeah. I was a crazy person when I dated him.
Crazy means crazy.
Ooh. Oh, it was bad. But yeah, but I expected, I needed a job. I needed to do something. I didn't want to be a bartender. I didn't want to do anything else. I fully just wanted to, I just wanted to be in radio. I loved it so much. I just wanted to be treated better than how I had in the past. And so I talked to Terry, and I talked to people there, and everyone really like made me feel like it would be a good way to go. And I got excited about it. He made me feel excited about it. So I dove in, and I needed a job, and it was guaranteed money. So I was like, why not? Excuse me. And so yeah. And so
why did you never get on air?
He just kept giving me excuses. I would go into his office every other week and say, so what about this week? So what about this week? Told me that he didn't have the money. And I said, I don't want the money. I said, I'll continue to do the sale. I said, I'll do free. Yeah. I just want to be on air. I love this. Like, just give me the 10 spot. Give me the fucking midday spot.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't having it.
We had nothing to lose. Like, even if
even
if you fucking tanked.
BHT made so much money off of me. It was unbelievable. You know why? Because people fucking loved me. Even if the content was fucking wild and weird, people fucking loved me. And my ratings were fucking good because I was different. Because I didn't do the normal jock shit. I overspoke. I talked too much. I was goofy. I would lose my footing mid-sentence. People would be like, where did she go? I'm here. I'm you. I'm normal like you. I would talk about bad things. I would come in hungover. I was a real person. People related with me. So I made them a lot of fucking money. But Terry wouldn't hear that. Terry wouldn't hear that. I was like, bro, just let me go on there. I'll make you so much money. Just let me make you money.
He literally had nothing to lose.
Nothing. And you guys needed a female voice on the station.
Yes.
You needed a female voice on the station.
Yeah.
And I had done rock radio before. I'm sorry, Fuzz was my favorite station.
Mm-hmm.
I could have killed that. Killed it. But, he made a choice. Choices were made. Things happen. And then when I realized I was never going to go anywhere and I wasn't going to get anything, and I was like, it's time for me to move on. So hesitantly, I started looking heavy. And then I got the job in State College.
I think you had a bigger going away party than most people who were there much longer than you.
Really?
I was there 7 years, and I think I got a hot lunch, got a hot pizza lunch that was traded.
What was my going away? I don't remember.
We were at the fucking Coal City Tavern.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
right. It was he paid for a lot of our drinks.
I don't want to sound ungrateful because you know what? It was COVID. It was during COVID.
Yeah, but it's also me. People are really happy to see me go. So they throw big celebrations.
Oh, you. Okay, not me. Yeah.
Me. I'm talking about me.
Right. That fucking microphone. Stop with that shit.
What if I had like tiny hands?
That's what you look like. Well, you have Trump hands. Yes.
They're huge. They're huge.
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 All right. So peace out, Time Shamrock. We're going to State College. Get nuts. State College. And that was right before the
COVID.
pandemic. Yeah.
Yep. Life was good. Everything was gravy. Love and life. And then there was a guy that when COVID hit.
Jesus Christ.
No, when COVID hit, a lot changed. A guy came out of retirement from that he was like a real heavy hitter in that area. He used to have a morning show that like people really, really like. He was a heavy hitter. He was creative. He was funny, and he had a big following. And he was in retirement, and he started working for an event center up there for Bryce Jordan. And then Bryce Jordan shut down because of COVID, and so he was back on the market for a job. So as soon as he became available, they gave him my job. And I was like, I don't blame you because he's going to make you more money than I am. He's well known in the area. He's funny. He's got his stuff together. He knows how to do a solo morning show. I've only been on a teamed morning show. I don't know how to do solo. So they reworked it and things like that. And then eventually over time, it just got to the point where it's just, they weren't making any money. COVID hit hard and they just had to start doing layoffs. So I got laid off and I was like, you know what? I think it's time for a break and I think it's time for a change. I got unemployment. I got to just kind of relax. I got to travel a little bit, see my friends, do some stuff. I became famous on TikTok. I went viral. I went viral. I had 1 million views. I have 23,000 followers on TikTok. Bitch.
Why'd you quit?
Bitch.
Did you quit TikTok too?
I still have it. I still have it going. I just don't do it much.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So
TikTok.
That was my next thing. So then I become a TikTok star.
Was that like a thing? You wanted to do that?
I wanted to do that. That was like, it got me through the pandemic. I went through a lot and TikTok really pulled me out of it.
And then you realize you're 40 years old. You're like, shit, this isn't going to work.
Listen, I'm still famous on TikTok. I just haven't put anything into it.
Sure.
How many followers do you have on TikTok? Not 23,000.
Oh, listen, I'm not going to try and fool anyone.
Sir.
I'm not a woman. B, I don't have boobs.
I'm sorry.
Three, let me continue. I'm not funny. I am not funny. I'm not funny.
No, but you do look like Joey Fatone.
I do look like Joey Fatone. I'll just start doing like Joey Fatone shit. You should do Joey Fatone TikToks and it would blow up and you would become famous. The Popko Project would be insane. Maybe I should do that. You should do that. See, I'm very smart. I'm just not that creative. I'm not that funny. I'm not that smart. It's not for me. I loved it. It got me through the pandemic. It did what it was meant to do. Cool. And then randomly I went to Miami, Florida, to see one of my best girlfriends, from Hawaii. And we were just like, hey, you want to
do something wild and like go on an adventure? She's like, yeah. So I went down there for I was there for a little over a week, and while I was there, I applied for a job in the airline, and they emailed me back, and they're like, can we interview you? And I was like, yes, you can.
So you're like, okay, I want to be a flight attendant.
Yep.
Is that what
I
they're
got drunk
called
one
now?
night.
Is that what they're called? Is that
Yeah,
the
a flight attendant.
correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not stewardesses. We're flight attendants.
I was gonna call you that. I'll call you a flight attendant. Okay.
Flight attendant. So I was like, you know what? I want to do this. This is my calling. I want to travel. I get paid for it. What else could I do in this world that I could be possibly lazier than radio and still get paid the same and maybe more?
So
Flight attendant.
Let's say that. So
Let me put on a tiny little skirt.
So instead
and
of
walk down
running
the aisles.
So instead of running from your problems, now you're flying.
How long did it take you to cook up that one, Johnny Popko?
Not long. About 10 seconds. I was gonna say,
Maybe add another 5 seconds to it. And needs work.
That was pretty good.
Very funny. It's very funny. It's very funny, Johnny Popko.
I had that in the very beginning, but I was saving it for the end.
It's a very funny joke, Johnny Popko.
Have you heard it before?
I have.
Oh, that's funny. Sweet.
So
now you're flying the fucking skies.
So now I'm flying the fucking skies. I wear cute little outfits. I get hit on daily. I had to go to flight school in Miami.
Everything you want to do.
Everything I want to do. Catch flights, not feelings, baby.
I saw that as your little Instagram bio.
Yeah. Venice in my veins. She.
Yeah, that's a new name.
Tara, new name. It was
Tara
Tara
Harrison.
I am Kennedy Kai.
I'm
now
Kennedy
it's Venice
Kai.
in my veins.
Kennedy. Now I'm Venice. Venice in my veins.
Venice in my veins is very appropriate because it is. They are in my veins. I do love it. I love California. I love my job. Huh? Oh, she said, Irish Annie over here. It says old fashions in my veins because that's all I drink now.
Irish Annie. I like that too.
Irish Annie.
Irish Annie.
It's Irish Annie.
You're like Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Where'd you go?
I had low battery.
Oh no, we better wrap it up.
I had it fully charged. I had 20%.
Okay. Well, I won't keep it much longer. I don't want to keep you from Irish Annie.
I know. Irish Annie's just sitting here going, what the fuck have I got myself into?
Yeah. What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I do that accent so good now. You know I do.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Sound like Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
Is she a fan?
She said I do it better than her. How can I be more Irish than an Irish person? So yeah. So now I live in co-living, and I live in a pod, and I have friends from all over the world, like Irish Annie, and I have
future shit right there.
Yeah, and I don't know, and I fly the skies, and I have fun. I actually got to fly the plane the other day. That was pretty cool.
Not for real, right?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah.
Fuck, what airline is that?
Not talking about that.
So off air. Tell me what that is, so I don't go on it.
I will. Oh, hey!
if you're fucking flying the plane after drinking fucking 18 goddamn I did whatever old fashions.
Use your word, sir.
Easy.
First of all, I wasn't drunk flying the plane. I'm not a normal.
You were drunk the night before.
You ready? I have a joke.
Right, go.
You ready? You ready? It's an aviation joke. You're gonna love it.
Sweet, can't wait.
What divides 4 sluts or 4 whores and 2 alcoholics?
I don't know.
The flight deck door.
The flight deck door.
Yeah, the pilots and the flight attendants.
Wow. Yeah, I don't get it.
Ew. How do you not get that?
Must be a flight joke.
Do you know what a flight deck door is?
No, I don't.
It's the door that closes you know where the flight deck is, the cockpit.
Yeah.
Where the cocks sit. The cockpit.
Yes. I know where the cock is. Yes. The cockpit. Yes. I got it.
Cock. And I ask you where the cock is. I'm going to say the cockpit is.
Cockpit. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a door, right? That closes that off.
Yeah.
That's called the flight deck door.
Don't know that.
Listen, you just ruined that joke, and it's very. You know what? I'm only telling that to people in aviation from now on out.
That's probably a good idea. I wouldn't recommend you telling that joke to anyone else. Here's average Joe dickhead like me, I know like 5 things on a plane.
Listen, they're saying that the alcoholics are the pilots and the flight crew is like the flight attendants are whores. And that's very accurate. Only we're also alcoholics.
I'm gonna cut you off. Before you say something you don't mean.
What are you talking about? That's it. That's the end of the joke.
Oh, it's a joke still. Got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, these jokes, like your plane, aren't landing.
That was funny. That was the best joke of the
I'm here all night.
Tiny mic drop. Tiny mic drop.
That was funny too. That's good stuff.
He's like, these jokes, like your plane, aren't landing. So good. So good. It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, it was good. And,
Popko.
and your tiny mic drop was
Tiny mic drop. Tiny mic drop.
that was something I've never seen before. You hear all this mic drop, boom, like these big microphones.
Tiny mic drop. Is this thing on?
Oh man. Well, listen. I'm happy you're happy. I mean,
thank you.
I feel like, and I'm not trying to get like therapeutic on you at all, but I can understand what people were saying when they said to you, like, you don't belong here.
I don't.
You don't.
I never did.
And they're right. But I feel like because of that, you were always so defensive and you thought people were after you and all that kind of shit.
Well, I mean, in radio, when I worked, like I had a lot of situations where maybe not where we worked together, but in radio, I had a lot of people that were after me. I had a lot of men that were threatened by my ideas and my motivation, by my work, just like my work ethic. I just wanted to do. I wanted to create. I always had idea after idea after idea, and I always wanted to build things. And I scared a lot of people that were higher up than me because they were just like, "Yo, where are you going with this?" And it's like, and then when I started getting noticed by people above them, and it wasn't going through them, I had a hard time in radio. It was,
yeah. I'm
not necessarily saying it there because I was like, that was probably one of the best situations I've had, but in a lot of places I worked, it was like I constantly had my guard up, and it sucked.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you kind of finding your place in life.
Yeah.
And
I think I am.
I hope this is something that you do forever. You seem happy. You seem like you found people very similar to you.
I really have. There are people here. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I really have found my clan, my people, my crew. Like, I found the people that really complete me, as Jerry Maguire would say. But it was just like, I really have found like this really amazing set of like souls that are just so on par and so on brand with who I am and where I stand. And I love it. And not to mention the fact that I get 2 weeks off every month is amazing. So I get to kind of travel and do whatever I want to do and live my life. And still, like I'm off until the August 16th.
And then what do you do? Like, do you work like every day for the next 2 weeks?
No. And then I work 4 days, then I have 3 days off, then I work 4 days and I have 3 days off, and then I work 4 days, I have 3 days off, and then I have 2 more weeks off.
Damn.
It's good life.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
It is. And I'm going to Hawaii, and I found a future prospect. For my next engagement. 5th time's a charm, bitch.
That's not a saying. That's not how it works.
I already blew past 3. Yeah, that's wait, another.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It is in my world. Fake it till you make it.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
good life.
Good for
Thanks. Thanks, Johnny Popko.
Good to see you happy.
Thank you. I'm very happy.
Good. Yeah, I was like I said, I felt that you were like just a little misunderstood, and you had your guard up, but I think also people had their guard up too. Like,
yeah.
And I'll admit that I kind of had my guard up with you too, because you had been around around the block in the sense of the radio world. And
Oh, I was like, it's like, what world are we talking about?
I don't
here?
know that world. I don't know that world at all, and I don't care to. But you know, we had this person coming in, and you know, it's a small town, so rumors kind of start flying around, and it's like, what's this girl's deal? So it's like, so people like put their guard up too. So it's like, yeah, I get it. So
what were the rumors?
One specifically that and really the only one is just kind of like you. This is gonna sound the wrong way, but like
say it how it is.
I don't know. I don't know how else to put it, but like you kind of just like you forced yourself into situations. Like you, and it's not a bad thing. It's more like you willed your way into something, like, or like, you would do whatever it took to get to where you wanted to be, which is.
I'm sorry, is that a bad thing? If I was a man, people would be like,
I know,
he's the shit.
I know. I'm not.
Let me slap his dick later. That's how it would be.
I'm not getting into that. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm just,
AKA, I worked my ass off to do whatever I possibly could do. And when I would fall, I take responsibility. And when I would rise, I would bring everyone with me that I possibly could, because that's the kind of person I was.
Hey,
but if you didn't like me, you didn't like me. And that's
I am one of the advocates that was like, listen, like, well, I don't know why she's not on air. I wanted you on our station when you were at BHT. I was like, she would fucking kill it on this station. And it was, at the time, was still Fuzz, but still, at like, there's nothing you could have done that was worse or that would have hurt what we were doing.
Yeah.
Like, you have to make that cool. You have to make that a scene. Like that station had so much potential. I remember being in meetings. They would have these meetings and they would like invite like employees down. We want to hear what you think about the station, how we can make it better. Okay, well, I think we should do X, Y, and Z. That's dumb. Next.
Yeah, exactly. And then here's the thing, like, if there's no open room for creative criticism, then don't even ask people to help. It's just ridiculous. But it is what it is. That's in my past now. It sucks because like I really fell in love with radio, and I fell out of love with it. But now I have a new love, and it's called aviation. And it's been a ride. It's been a journey. It's been something crazy. I mean, like, it's crazy I went to flight school. I got to do I got to do the simis. That was pretty fucking sick. I got to go to Miami for a month to like learn things. I learned how to land like and take off of like, like a fucking Boeing 737-800. Like, it's crazy.
Have you caught anyone entering the Mile High Club?
No, I have not. Although I could have done it in a time or two. So we do these things called ferry flights, and it's typically when you're doing a commuter flight. And you can actually, like, there's only the flight attendants and the pilots on there, like on the flights. So technically, if I was dating another flight attendant, we could technically enter the Mile High Club without getting caught. But if we did, we would lose our jobs. We'd never be able to work in aviation again.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Nope.
It's not worth it. And it's a federal offense, so you could get arrested.
Damn.
Although I have kicked off, I have kicked off people off the plane. I've had people arrested. I've saved someone's life. Someone had a heat stroke, and I saved their life.
Radio host, flight attendant,
fucking lifesaver, right?
Did you see recently
it's insane.
On I don't want to bring up another flight company.
Airline,
thank you. But they were just in the news because their flight attendants had duct taped
beat the shit out of
to a chair.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Have you ever had an experience like that? Like,
almost. I had a woman that refused to wear a mask, and she tried to fight the crew, but we got her taken off. We had police and everything involved. And it was pretty wild. It was an insane flight. I had 4 federal marshals on the plane with me at one point. I've had people do like stings. I've had a lot happen in the past just few months of me flying. It's been pretty crazy. I've done like ice charters. I've done like, it's crazy. It's the aviation world's wild.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of law that goes behind it. Like, I have a book that's like that thick and like that wide. Well, I can meet a man the same.
Are we talking about a dick or a book?
I just said, if only I could meet a man that way. Listen, we both try. We went in for the same dick joke, and you just missed your turn.
But
Missed your
you're
chance.
just faster than I am.
All right, Miss Annie needs my
Go ahead.
attention.
Yeah, man.
She's going back to Ireland
Bye,
on
Annie.
the 7th.
Bye, Irish Annie.
He's like, bye, Irish Annie. She's going back to Ireland on the 7th, so I'm trying to give her all my love.
Bye, Irish Annie.
And I feel like we've had a very long therapeutic session today.
I appreciate your time. I really do.
I love this.
End of the day, I'm really happy for you. I wish you. I wish everybody. I want to see everyone happy. Like one of the greatest joys for me is seriously, and I'm not trying to like fucking blow smoke up your ass or anyone else's. It's seeing other people happy.
Absolutely.
It's being at a wedding and seeing the bride and groom the happiest they've ever been. Like I could cry thinking about that kind of shit. So like,
yeah,
happy you're happy. I want to see you happy forever. And hey, if you're ever back in any PA, hit me up.
Absolutely. I was just gonna say next time I'm in town, I'm gonna hit you up and and drinks around me. Let's go to like one of those. Let's go to the non-bad. Let's go to the non-bad breweries. Wait, where is it? There it is. That's a good. Let's go to the non-bad brewery.
Oh. All right, sounds good.
And let's grab some drinks and get ridiculously drunk and talk more.
Sounds good. Tara, pleasure. Great
Popko, you should be
great
Popko.
seeing you. What's up?
You should be a therapist.
Well, maybe this is my
This is your calling.
it's my calling right here.
This is your calling. You should be a therapist.
The podcast therapy session.
I love it. I love it so much.
Popko therapy session, whatever. But
pop your problems.
Oh shit! Write that down.
I'm so smart.
Irish Annie. Irish Annie. Goodbye.
Irish Annie, say goodbye.
Bye.
Irish Annie, say goodbye.
Can you say something?
Hold on.
Something long.
Can you say something?
Say a long sentence.
Well, you won't know what I mean.
Say a long sentence.
Okay. So do you want me to say like, hi, how are you? What's the crack is what we say in our.
What's the crack? What does that mean? Oh no. I think we lost him.
Oh, what's the crack means like what's happening? And it's not crack, it's CRAIC, crack.
Oh yeah. There's a
it means fun. So what's
yeah.
the fun? What's happening?
Harpoon makes a beer called
you
crack.
had good crack today. You had good crack.
Harpoon makes a beer called crack.
Yeah.
Harpoon makes a beer called crack.
CRAIC.
CRAIC.
Yep. Yeah. In Boston. Harpoon is in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say it that way.
Must be Irish then.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah.
Bye, Johnny Popko.
All right. We'll see you guys. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. What's up?
Have a great day.
Stop with that fucking microphone. We'll see you.
Tiny mic drop. Bye.
Bye-bye.